Hello and welcome to our channel. This is a video I feel like we've been talking about doing for a long time, and we get asked quite a lot, and we've uploaded like shorter versions elsewhere or answered some of these questions in vlogs, but we thought we would share our gay love story.
Our gay love story.
Our gay love story.
So if you're new here, I'm Mikey and
I'm Toby.
And we've been sharing our life online for like 3-4 years,
yeah,
maybe a bit longer.
We met when we were 17. We're now approaching 30. I'm 29 and Mikey's 29 in a few weeks, and we thought it would be useful to kind of share our coming out story, how we met, how we've navigated our relationship, got engaged, married, bought a house and stuff, and just put it all in one place, because we get asked quite a lot, because I think there is a bit of a stigma, I guess, about gay relationships.
Yeah, I think a lot of people
being...
always want to know, like, how are you making your relationship work? It seems so uncommon in the gay community, which I don't actually think is true. I just don't think there's massive amount of visibility around successful gay relationships. So.
Yeah, which does look completely different for everyone, but yeah, thought we'd share it here. Right, we're gonna try and break things up as best we can into sections. So the first thing is our coming out stories. So I came out when I was 16. We've had a lot of conversations about this off camera, but I think I knew I was gay since forever.
Yeah.
I feel like there wasn't like a day where I necessarily realized I was gay, but I came out first to my best friend at the time, and it was really casual. I think we were actually texting together. We were in the same room, yeah, and I was kind of like, I've got something to tell you. And then said that I was gay, and I think she actually replied straight away like, me too. Which was really nice, and I felt very like safe, and that was great. And then I came out probably a few weeks later to my mum, and she was going to work, and I just like had a real urge, like, I'm gonna do it now. And yeah, we sat on the stairs, and I just told her I was gay, and she said, like, I've always known. And we had a bit of a cry and a cuddle, and then she went to work, and I asked her if she would tell my dad as well, which she did. And that was, I think, harder for him. I think that's the case for a lot of men, and my dad, I've spoken about this before, but he is quite like a traditionally straight man.
Yeah.
He's got like a part of like lad culture, plays football, wanted me to be that.
Yeah.
And that's not to say he doesn't like love me, want me to be who I am now, but I think that took like a transition.
It's like an adjustment from probably what he thought having a son would be like.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my coming out story, and that was it really.
Yeah. I was 17 when I came out, so kind of similar to Toby, I knew I was gay since I hit puberty probably. I always knew I was attracted to men. And I feel like I tried to like reject it for as long as I could, which 17 I was still young. I just knew I couldn't not be gay. So I came out to my school friends first, who again were all really accepting and really lovely.
You were drunk when you did it?
Yeah, I was drunk when I did it, which
I think a lot of
just
people do
helped
that.
me be a bit braver to say it. And I wasn't planning on saying it, but I think I knew I was getting to the point of having to say something. And yeah, just drunk on like a night with my friends, told them all. And then I think I waited like a month or so before I told my parents, because I was really nervous to do it. And I really didn't need to be, because they were super accepting. I always knew they would be, but I was just really nervous to actually like, I think like come to terms with it myself more than anything.
I think it's like a really big thing to actually say the words and acknowledge, especially, I know it's been a lot harder even before that, but like 15 years ago or so, like it
was still like people were being bullied for being gay in school, and I'm sure that probably still happens now, but yeah, I feel like once I said it, I was like, there's no going back from saying it, so I really wanted to be certain. And yeah, they were really accepting. I honestly had like probably one of the best coming out experiences anyone could have, so I feel really grateful for that. And since then I've always been accepted by everyone that matters, so that's great.
The next thing we get asked a lot is how we actually met.
I feel like we've actually touched on this a lot, probably briefly, but it's not that.
It's not like a really long story. I guess it's probably different because we were only 17.
Yeah.
So we were still, if you're in the UK, we were doing our A-levels, and it was kind of like March just before we had finished sixth form. So we were like going to turn 18 that summer. So we were 17, and I was seeing someone who was like fine. Like we didn't...
Fine.
Fine. They were about 13 years older than me, which when you're 17 is obviously a huge difference. And yeah, that we were seeing each other, and I always felt kind of like they were emotionally unavailable and I was quite needy. And I think a lot of gay men in particular, and women as well, I know, but kind of look for validation by being with someone older. And yeah, there are a few issues there. So basically that cooled off. It wasn't like we were in a committed thing. They were seeing other people and we weren't like boyfriends. And I was at a party and a friend said, I was telling her about the situation, and she said, you should speak to my friend Mikey. And I messaged Mikey on Facebook literally the next day, I think. And we started chatting and then we met.
It's very like modern day, well, I say modern day, it's very modern day of our time to be like Facebook messaging, and then we arranged to meet up. We went for Starbucks, I think,
And then Costa,
and then Costa,
wherever like the coffee shop closed, we moved on.
And then the rest is kind of history, I guess. We kind of started like dating straight away, like seeing each other multiple times a week.
Yeah.
And then I think about a month later, we said like,
be my
boyfriends.
Yeah.
Was that over text as well? I think it might have been.
Maybe. It's, you know, when you're
that like really like nervous teenage relationship, it was very that vibe of like everything was like
a bit
heart
awkward.
Racing and awkward. Like I remember we used to Snapchat.
Yeah.
Which I never do anymore. And we used to like send each other Snapchats, and it would be like that thing of like waiting for the reply, and you could see when they'd opened it. So you'd be like, oh God, they've opened it. Oh, was that really embarrassing what I said? Or like...
Yeah, like challenging absolutely everything you did.
Yeah, it was very that vibe.
So funny thinking back to, because obviously we feel so comfortable around each other now, and can't imagine being nervous to be like, oh, should we see each other? And even like meeting parents and family and friends, like it's really strange that we had to do that, because that just feels everyone now is connected, because we've actually nearly been together for like half of our lives.
Yeah.
Which is so
now
weird.
It's so weird to think back to that. But yeah, it was very like teenage relationship, that kind of vibe.
Yeah. So something we get asked a lot, and I actually have had a lot of conversations with people online about this as well, but it's kind of getting past the 1-2 year phase of a relationship. And I think it's really difficult because naturally, like we just said, you have a lot of like adrenaline and excitement when you first meet someone, and you like work really hard no matter your age. If you're a teenager, if you're in your 60s, 90s, whenever, to like keep that spark alive. And I feel like that will always in a way fade. 100%. And I think a lot of people don't admit that. They say like, no, you should have like fire forever, but that isn't like, I think we were quite understanding of
like the novelty is always going to wear off.
Like in a physical sense, in an emotional sense, like obviously you can always learn more, but when you know almost everything there is to know about someone and you've seen all of their body, and there's a part of you that obviously would be more excited about someone else. And I think that's a really natural thing, but I think even just communicating that and being aware that that is normal, and the grass isn't always greener. I remember that's something like my mum said to me, like when we had probably been together for like a year or so. And I was like, I'm only 18, should I, like a lot of people were saying like, you should see other people, you should have fun whilst you're young and at uni, etc. And I remember my mum saying like, well, the grass isn't always greener, and Mikey's really lovely and you guys are so happy, and which is
that is very true.
Something you have to like really consider and remind yourself, and also communicate. Like don't just have those thoughts to yourself. And I know it's a hard conversation to have, but you could show your partner this YouTube video and I can explain it for you.
Okay, so another thing we get asked a lot is how we managed to stay together through uni, which I think that kind of leads on nicely from where we just were, because
that was hard.
That was a really hard period for us. Like the first 2 years of uni, at the start of the year, so you have, if you're not from the UK, you have like a freshers week.
I think they have similar in like America, like kind of like frat.
It's like the induction week to uni, and like you go out partying and you're meeting loads of new people, trying to make friends, trying to fit in.
Trying to impress people as well.
And I think there was a lot of pressure from people to be like, you should split up and like have fun and not be tied to someone. And we ended up going to uni in the same city, which obviously that massively helped, and we did make that decision beforehand. We were at different unis but in the same city, and in Freshers Week, me particularly, I really did fall for the like, we should break up. I think I want to try and like be single, and it wasn't even about being with someone else. It was just more being like, I want to see if I want to have life on my own or if it could be different. And I think almost we had to go through that to realise that the grass wasn't greener. And both times we obviously came back together really quickly. I remember at the time it felt like months that we were together.
Though, like, yeah, both years. So first year, Mikey was kind of like ended things with me, and I think I was really insecure. So that made me really like, oh my God, that was a hard time.
Yeah.
And then in second year of uni, I ended things with Mikey, again for the same sort of reason. And I think it was like both times, maybe 2 or 3 weeks that we were apart, and we ended up coming back together. And I think again, it was about like being honest, and when we were apart, realizing like, do I want this, or is it just because everyone else does this? Like, you watch a TV show, and like, I actually can't really think of a TV show or a film where they like go to uni or college and they're in a relationship and it works.
Yeah.
It's always like you break up and you meet someone else, and
you like move on, and it's so much better, and
it's like a rite of passage almost. And I think we luckily realized that wasn't right. And we stayed together. And then like, I guess just by third year, we were like really naturally progressing with our relationship and knew that we wanted to be together like long term. Okay, then moving on to like post-university, we were like 21, 22, and we wanted to move in together. We had already got Ziggy, our dog. So basically me on impulse, I was on holiday with my mum in Italy, and I was just like, I really want a dog, like really desperately. And I was texting Mikey like, I really want a dog, sending pictures of rescue dogs. I knew I wanted to rescue one. And then saw like the breeder who had Ziggy basically had been given him back. Like, it was almost,
I think his owner died.
It was like rehoming him when he was a bit older.
And no one wanted him because he was no longer like a cute puppy, and she couldn't get rid of him basically.
She had him for ages, and I was messaging her, and then we went to her house, met him, and we're just like, oh, we love him, he's great. And so we got Ziggy. We knew we wanted to live together. We spent our third year of uni like
basically living together at each other's parents' houses.
So we knew it could work. So we moved into a rental flat, which was great, and we were able to do work to that rental place.
Like minimal work.
We changed the floors and painted the kitchen, the walls, and like really improved it.
But that was really exciting. I remember like leading up to that, we were like, oh my God, we're going to do this. And we were like mood boarding, and like it's nothing like our house is now, but it was cute.
It was cute. And it was really exciting, I think. Like I've spoken about this before, but I was always really into like homemaking and being like cozy and having a nice space. And so like in the weekends or in evenings or after work, because we had just started working then, we would like go and spend our paycheck on like at home scents and buy like candles,
a little lamp or something. I think it was like our first taste of adulthood, like proper adulthood, which was really nice.
And having
we got to
like
do that
some
together,
disposable
which was
income. Also our rent wasn't that expensive then, so it was really nice. And we had both just started jobs, and it was just like different
it was fun.
Way of life. And then,
but that did not last very long.
No, we were only there for about 8 months. And we moved. I think we very quickly realised that we wanted to live not in that area.
We also didn't have like an outdoor space for Ziggy, and that was really annoying for him, and it just wasn't quite where we wanted to be. I don't think we felt like, particularly as gay men, I don't think we felt that safe where we were. It wasn't like the nicest part of town or like the most accepting, I don't think. So we were always a bit nervous whenever we left the house of like, oh, we're going to get like hate crimes.
So from there, we then moved or bought our cottage, which is kind of what we started sharing online. Let us know in the comments if you've actually been here since we had the cottage, because we sold that now about a year ago. And we're watching it actually to the week.
It was a year ago to this week.
So we bought our first home together, which we had wanted to do for a long time. We had like slowly been like saving money,
Yeah.
and we can talk all about like buying a house and the process of like getting to where we are now in another video if that's something you'd be interested in. But yeah, we bought the cottage and we basically like wiped ourselves out of money.
Yeah.
We were living like paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, we fell in love with it. It was so out of our budget. Luckily, it got reduced. It was like just before COVID in the UK, so like the house market wasn't moving very quick. So we were really lucky.
Yeah, it was
we
like
managed to get like a
Brexit
bit of Brexit. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Brexit. Sorry. Yeah, we managed to get a bit of a bargain. But
Yeah. And then lived there, renovated slowly. We got engaged whilst we were at that house.
yes. So our engagement, I think we've probably touched on this as well before, but not for ages. I think we could both kind of feel like we wanted to get to that point. We were like discussing marriage and we bought our house and it kind of just felt like the next natural step.
And we'd been together by this point for like 5
Yeah.
or 6 years.
I think we were like, we definitely want to be together forever. It just kind of felt like the time. So we have been like looking at like rings and stuff in shops. And I remember I found there was like a ring that you really liked.
Yeah.
And I thought I was being really subtle. I clearly wasn't. And was like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. And ordered this ring, and I think you knew it was coming because like a week later I was like, just on a whim I've booked this hotel that I've really wanted to go to for ages that we'd spoken about. It's Foxhill Manor in the UK. It's really nice if anyone wants to go, but yeah, I booked that, and then I think you were like, I know what's coming here.
Yeah, I think not even that like I didn't want to let Mikey do it first obviously, but I think I thought I want us both to have a ring, both to kind of experience the proposal and engagement, and so the only way I could do it was kind of like pretend I don't know and almost do it the night before. So
Yeah.
he had booked that and I said like, I've got holiday from work, so and so should we take a couple of days off before and stay at a couple of different hotels in the Cotswolds, and yeah, booked a couple of nice hotels, and then I proposed to Mikey on one of those nights, and it was like a weird experience because so we went for a really nice dinner, and then
Really nice dinner.
like yeah, so good. I could eat that
Could go
again.
back there.
And then on the walk back to our hotel,
Which was like 1 minute.
yeah, honestly, like less than a minute probably, we had like people like screaming loads of homophobic abuse at us, shouting loads of stuff. We were literally just walking down the street, I think maybe holding hands because we had drunk, and we don't ever do that.
We don't ever do stuff like that, really.
And so got back to the hotel, I reported it because you were quite upset, but I knew I was going to propose when we got back to the hotel, and I had everything prepared, and like
Normally I never normally used to let those things kind of bother me because
Yeah.
I think I was so insecure that I'd be like, oh, let's just not draw attention to it. But I think because I'd had a drink, I was really anlighted about
Yeah.
it. And
So-
you were trying to propose and I was just like not paying attention, like getting
Yeah.
really annoyed.
So I had to really try and like lighten the mood. I was like, I've reported it, I've sent an email to the council, like the local council and the police, so let's just leave it there. And then I proposed, and we kind of just forgot about that straight away, and
Yeah.
had like a really, really nice
It was so nice.
evening. And then the following day, Mikey didn't say that he was going to propose to me.
Yeah, I think you
So
were
I
like,
was a bit
oh, is he actually going?
because I thought he might straight away be like, I was going to propose to you, here's the ring, but he didn't say anything, and then the next evening proposed to me.
Well, I planned this whole thing with the hotel the next day, like nothing fancy, but just like
Romantic.
something in like their garden. So I was like, I still want to do that. So I still did it.
And
Yeah,
it was so
really
nice. So we each got a proposal.
Yeah.
And then we got married the following year. We've spoken a lot about our wedding in
Yeah.
various places, and we will actually talk about this a lot more soon somewhere else. But there are things we change about our wedding, I think, now looking back, but it was absolutely perfect for the time, and so many people said to us like it was the best wedding they've ever been to. I know
It was the best day of my life.
It was
Everyone
so
says
good.
that. It was so good.
It was
I
like
loved
the
that
perfect day, but I think being who we are now, we'd do
Yeah.
it slightly differently, not just for like vanity reasons at all. We'd just want like
think you
probably
know
something a
yourself a
bit
bit
more
better.
casual, and
Yeah.
like when you're older, you know yourselves, and we were 24 or 5 when we got married.
Yeah, it was actually a year later than it was meant to be because of COVID, so we should have been even younger. So yeah, I think now knowing ourselves a bit better, there's things we would do differently, but it was perfect.
Still perfect.
Yeah.
Then I guess like post-marriage has been the last like 3 years up till now, which I feel like a lot has happened.
Yeah, these have definitely been the most eventful years of our life so
and like
far.
formative years.
Yeah.
I feel like we're so different now than we were 3 years ago when we got married. For a lot of
100%.
reasons.
Yeah, we've moved house like twice.
Oh yeah, we moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, we moved into a house in Cheltenham, then really quickly moved to a rental flat in London,
Yeah.
and then have bought our house in London this year.
Yeah.
Where we kind of are starting to now feel like
Yeah.
home. Like it feels
We've
like the
obviously
right
had
place.
like loads of people be like, you move house so much, you move house so much, which I know we did move house a lot. But I think it was really obvious to us that we weren't like 100% happy living in the countryside. Like
Yeah.
we just kind of ticked that off, and
We also spoke about that
Yeah,
a lot,
like,
like how
it
we want
wasn't-
like coffee shops
Yeah.
and things going on and a gym and
it just wasn't like the life that we actually wanted in the end. And I think we spent a while trying to like find ways to counter that. So we bought a like little house in Cheltenham, which was more central, and really quickly realised that that wasn't right, and we did really want to move to London, and that's why we moved house so many times so quickly.
yeah. And then the flat, just to reiterate, that we were in until recently, if you've been here for a while, that was just like a temporary
Yeah.
year-long thing. We paid for a year up front,
And we always knew it was
Just
like
to
a
be like-
stopover.
yeah, until we find the right house, which we did.
Yeah.
And
Here we are.
that's where we are now. So that is pretty much our story. I know that's
Yeah.
quite brief. Obviously, there are a lot of different things. But if you have any questions, we could do like a Q&A type video or a live or something.
Yeah.
Just drop any down below or message us on Instagram. Any questions you have, and we can reply there, because it's a
Yeah.
bit easier if you want to do something private.
For sure. But just to kind of touch on, I feel like the main thing we get all the time is like advice
Yeah.
for gay couples for how to like make a successful relationship. We get messages like that a lot from single people or people in relationships who are like feeling anxious about how they're going to have something similar. And I think genuinely my biggest piece of advice would always be to just be honest with yourself
Yeah.
and with who you are. I think a lot of people try and like almost like live life through a facade, and I think we did that for so long, and I'm so
Yeah.
lucky that we have both grown into being our true selves, and we've like done that together. But looking back, if I'd have just been more myself sooner, I think I would have been happier sooner.
Yeah, I agree completely with that. I
Yeah.
think my main thing that I always say to people, and it's so much easier said than done, but is communicate with your partner first before anyone else. I think it's really easy to call a friend or a parent and talk about your partner or your situation, but
Yeah.
if you have like a healthy relationship, you need to be able to communicate with one another, whether it's a good thing, a bad thing. They should be the first person that you want to tell and want to work through it.
Yeah.
And even if the relationship isn't right, you need to communicate that with them first before like kind of planting those seeds with other people, because that's when you also start to like feel guilt or resentment because you're like almost doing something behind their back.
Yeah.
And this is for like healthy relationships I'm talking about, by the way. Like this obviously does not include anything where there's like emotional, physical abuse,
no,
and that's
yeah.
completely different. But yeah, I think that's probably my advice.
Communication is key always, and that's for straight people and gay people.
Yeah, for everyone. Cool, thank you so much for watching the video. If you're new here or you're not subscribed already, please make sure you do subscribe. It means a lot, and give the video a thumbs up and a
Yeah, let us know
comment
if you have any questions.
if you enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.